Activating the Crystalline DNA Template, A Guide to Multidimensional Awakening. Introduction, The Awakening of the Divine Blueprint. There is a memory deep within the cells, encoded in the very fibers of existence, waiting for the moment when the soul would remember. This is the moment. The activation of the Crystalline DNA Template is not a fantasy or an abstract concept, it is a return to the original divine human design, the ascended template that once flourished before the great fall into density. It is the quantum leap from limitation to boundless potential, the evolutionary shift that is both a remembrance and a transformation. For eons, humanity has existed within a carbon-based biological structure, an intentional limitation imposed upon the human form to experience the illusion of separation, duality, and linear time. The veil of forgetfulness was woven into the genetic strands, keeping the awareness confined within the density of physicality. But the time of limitation is coming to an end. As photonic light, cosmic frequencies, and galactic transmissions flood the planet, the dormant crystalline codes within human DNA are reawakening. This is the great return to the original divine human blueprint, a biological, energetic, and spiritual metamorphosis that transcends the limitations of old paradigms. The planetary shift is underway, and the very fabric of reality is bending, restructuring itself to accommodate this emergence. The question is no longer if this transformation is occurring but how we consciously participate in it. The transition from carbon-based to crystalline DNA. The human body was never meant to remain trapped in density. Originally, humanity existed as light-encoded beings, operating with a higher frequency template that allowed for expanded consciousness, multidimensional awareness, and direct communion with divine intelligence. However, over the course of history, through cycles of experience, humanity entered a phase of compression, where the full spectrum of DNA potential was veiled, allowing for a deeper immersion into linear perception. This period of contraction, though appearing as limitation, was a sacred path toward rediscovery. Carbon-based DNA, while functional in the third-dimensional realm, operates within a restricted bandwidth. It processes experience through linear sequencing, requiring time as a structuring mechanism. The crystalline DNA template functions in a harmonic interplay with time, allowing for expanded perception and multidimensional attunement rather than confinement to linearity. It is a self-organizing quantum receiver-transmitter, inherently fractal and aligned with the living intelligence of creation. This shift is not an external imposition, nor a gradual evolution, it is the restoration of an original vibrational attunement, where the body operates as a conduit for increased biophotonic communication and harmonic resonance. Crystalline DNA acts as a bridge, linking the physical self with the light body, allowing for greater states of awareness, cellular regeneration, and heightened intuitive faculties. It enables quantum cognition, where knowledge is accessed directly from the field rather than through learned experience. Light integration, where the body becomes a vessel for higher dimensional frequencies. Regeneration, as cellular structures begin to respond to vibrational coherence rather than linear decay. Many are already experiencing the early phases of this shift, symptoms such as heightened sensitivity to energy, accelerated thought processing, increased intuition, and an overwhelming sense of something changing within their very core. This is the DNA awakening process, the softening of density that allows the crystalline light structures to take form within the body. Remembering the original divine human template. The original divine human was not confined by the limitations of physicality. Ancient texts, esoteric wisdom, and quantum explorations all echo fractals of the truth that an advanced state of being once flourished in pre-fall civilizations. The human form was a vessel of light, a bio-spiritual technology capable of existing across multiple realms simultaneously. This was the angelic template, the Adamic Cadman form, the divine archetype that encoded the potential for infinite expansion. This template was never lost, only dormant. Every cell carries the memory of this design, waiting for the right moment, the right frequencies, to activate once again. This is why so many souls feel a deep yearning, an unexplainable knowing that something within them is reawakening. As humanity collectively awakens, the dormant DNA strands begin to come online, unlocking aspects of consciousness that have been suppressed for thousands of years. This includes telepathic and energetic communication, where spoken language becomes secondary to direct transmission. Regenerative healing abilities, where the body self-repairs through vibrational alignment. Expanded perception, allowing for simultaneous awareness of multiple dimensions. Divine connection, where separation dissolves, and unity consciousness becomes the natural state of being. The return of the divine human template is not a mere fantasy, it is the natural trajectory of evolution. Every cosmic cycle brings forth a new wave of activation, and we are now at the threshold of the greatest genetic awakening in human history. The role of photonic light and cosmic frequencies. DNA is not simply a molecular structure, it is a holographic receiver that responds to light and frequency. It is an antenna for cosmic intelligence, constantly interacting with the quantum field. This is why the planetary shift is deeply tied to the influx of photonic light and galactic transmissions currently permeating Earth. We are being bombarded with solar flares and plasma waves, which accelerate DNA activation, gamma-ray bursts and cosmic radiation, unlocking higher states of consciousness. Human resonance spikes, shifting brainwave activity into gamma and theta states. Galactic center transmissions, encoding Earth with new frequencies of intelligence. These light codes penetrate the bioenergetic field, triggering genetic reawakening. As these frequencies intensify, the old paradigms of density begin to dissolve, making way for a quantum, interconnected, crystalline existence. Photonic light interacts with the DNA field through harmonic resonance, not as an external activation, but as a natural synchronization with inherent intelligence. This alignment does not add or stimulate, it allows DNA to function in full harmonic coherence with its original multidimensional resonance, amplifying its capacity to receive and transmit divine intelligence. This is why many are experiencing spontaneous downloads of knowledge they've never learned, heightened sensitivity to sound, light, and electromagnetic fields, altered states of perception, time distortion, and synchronicities. This is the biological response to evolution, the cellular body recognizing its cosmic inheritance. Why now? The planetary shift and DNA evolution. We are standing at the precipice of an epochal transformation. The Earth is ascending, vibrating at an accelerated frequency, and all life upon it must match this resonance or fall away. This is not merely a shift within human consciousness but within the entire planetary and cosmic structure. We are transitioning from a third-density planetary system into a multidimensional frequency bandwidth, aligning with higher dimensional realities. Humanity's evolution is intrinsically linked to planetary evolution. As Earth receives cosmic transmissions, its crystalline grid harmonizes with those who are attuned, co-activating dormant codes within both planetary and human templates. This mutual resonance accelerates the restoration of divine intelligence within all forms of life. This is a collective awakening, a planetary initiation into a higher octave of existence. Why now? Because the cycle has come full circle. Every great age ends with an activation phase, a moment when the veils are lifted, and the opportunity to reclaim divine consciousness is presented. This is the window of acceleration, the moment prophesied by ancient civilizations, encoded in the stars, and whispered through the corridors of time. To resist this change is to cling to an obsolete paradigm that is dissolving before our eyes. To embrace it is to step into the divine inheritance that has always been within. This book is not merely a guide, it is an activation. It is embedded with the resonance of remembrance, carrying the frequencies that will awaken dormant aspects of your DNA as you engage with these words. You are not reading this by accident. You are here because your soul encoded this moment into your timeline. You are ready. The crystalline template is awakening. The time is now. Part 1, The Structure of Crystalline DNA. Chapter 1, The 12-strand DNA template. Understanding the multidimensional strands. DNA is more than a biological structure, it is the divine architecture of consciousness, a living bridge between dimensions, encoding the full potential of the human soul. While mainstream science recognizes DNA as a double helix molecule carrying genetic information, this is only the surface layer of its function. DNA exists in multiple dimensional states, operating beyond the limitations of physicality. The strands extend into non-physical realities, forming a holographic lattice of intelligence that connects the human vessel to the greater cosmic web. The 12-strand DNA template is the original divine blueprint of the human race, a multidimensional structure that once allowed for full access to expanded states of consciousness, self-healing, and interdimensional navigation. It was never lost, only deactivated, fragmented, and veiled to facilitate the experience of separation. Each strand corresponds to specific aspects of human potential, governing perception, energetic access, and divine intelligence. These strands were once fully active in pre-fall civilizations, where humanity operated with higher dimensional awareness. As cycles of expansion and contraction unfolded, the DNA template was partially veiled, not as an external imposition but as an intrinsic aspect of the chosen evolutionary experience. To understand this template, we must move beyond the idea of DNA as a mere genetic code and into the realm of frequency, vibration, and resonance. DNA functions as an antenna, receiving and transmitting information across vast dimensions of existence. When fully activated, the 12-strand DNA system allows for multidimensional awareness, the ability to perceive multiple realities simultaneously, direct communication with higher intelligence, telepathic access to the divine mind, self-regeneration and cellular transmutation, the reversal of aging and disease through energetic recalibration. Lightbody integration, the full embodiment of crystalline structure, shifting from carbon-based density to a silica-based framework. Most humans today operate with only 2 active DNA strands, limiting perception to the 5-sensory reality and confining awareness to the constraints of linear time. The remaining strands exist but are dormant, waiting for the appropriate frequencies to reactivate them. These dormant codes hold the keys to human evolution, the reawakening of divine consciousness, and the transcendence of physical limitation. The question is not whether this activation is possible, but how it occurs, and the answer lies in the light itself. The lost codes of human potential. Humanity was never meant to remain in a state of limitation. The original human design was a masterpiece of divine engineering, capable of accessing multiple timelines, dimensions, and states of being. This was a time when the veil of separation did not exist, when each soul had a direct connection to Source, and where the energetic body functioned as an open conduit for cosmic intelligence. However, something happened. As civilizations cycled through expansion and contraction, vibrational shifts led to the dormancy of higher DNA strands, allowing humanity to engage in a deeper experience of individuality. This amnesia was not an end, but a sacred cycle meant to birth the next great awakening. The once fully connected, divine human became fragmented, confined to a reality where only 3% of genetic capacity remained operational. The remaining 97%, the so-called junk DNA, is not junk at all, but rather dormant quantum coding, waiting for the right activation sequence. What was lost? The ability to create instantaneously through thought and vibration. Direct access to soul memory and past life knowledge across incarnations. Telepathic, clairvoyant, and multidimensional perception as natural states of awareness. The power to heal and regenerate the body using light frequency and intention. The ability to exist in multiple density layers simultaneously, shifting at will. Many ancient traditions speak of this lost human potential. The Lemurians, the Atlanteans, the Egyptians, the Vedic sages, and the Mayan timekeepers all encoded remnants of this knowledge into their texts, pyramids, and sacred symbols. They knew that one day, the cycle of amnesia would end, and humanity would once again reclaim its full divine nature. That time is now. As Earth moves through the photon belt, as solar flares activate the planetary grids, and as higher dimensional energies flood the system, the lost DNA codes are being reawakened. This is the return of the Christed template, the angelic human, the Homo luminous, the evolutionary leap that was always written in the stars. Yet, activation is not automatic. It is an inner process, requiring conscious participation, alignment with divine will, and willingness to let go of old paradigms. The codes will awaken as the being becomes receptive, ready, and attuned to the higher light frequencies. How does this occur? It happens through light itself. How dormant DNA activates through light. Light is not merely illumination, it is information, intelligence, and divine sequencing. When light enters the cellular structure, it carries geometric codes, quantum data, and energetic signatures designed to restore the original DNA configuration. DNA remembrance is catalyzed through harmonic resonance with divine light. This process unfolds through 4 primary pathways. 1. Solar and cosmic light infusion. The sun is a primary activator, emitting plasma waves, gamma radiation, and ultraviolet frequencies that stimulate DNA awakening. Cosmic rays from the galactic center download new light codes into the planetary and human grid systems. Human resonance spikes shift the energetic field, accelerating the process of cellular transformation. 2. Sound, frequency, and inner harmonic coherence. DNA responds to frequency, especially sacred tones, solfeggio frequencies, and binaural harmonics. Toning, chanting, and light language transmissions trigger memory restoration within the genetic field. Harmonic resonance clears energetic distortions, reattuning the DNA strands to their original frequency. Inner harmonic coherence is the bridge between all dimensions of being. 3. Consciousness and intentional activation. DNA is not passive, it is an interactive field that responds to awareness and intention. Meditation, breathwork, and heart-brain coherence generate the correct vibrational state for DNA activation. Direct command and invocation of DNA codes accelerates the process. When light enters the DNA, the double helix structure begins to shift, unwind, and expand, reconnecting with higher dimensional strands. This is a quantum reorganization of the human energy field, transforming the body into a crystalline transmitter of divine intelligence. Many are already feeling the effects of this transformation. Spontaneous downloads of higher knowledge. Intense shifts in perception and energetic sensitivity. An acceleration of synchronicities and timeline collapses. The feeling of waking up from a deep slumber. This is the DNA recalibration process, where the body, mind, and soul synchronize with the original divine template. It is the return of the multidimensional human, the embodiment of the new Earth frequency, the invitation to activation. The activation of the 12-strand DNA template is not reserved for an elite few. It is the birthright of every soul who chooses to step into this expansion. As we move deeper into this planetary shift, each person has the opportunity to consciously reclaim their divine inheritance, to awaken the dormant codes, and to embody the crystalline human form. This is not a passive event, it is an act of will, devotion, and alignment. It requires deep inner work to clear limiting beliefs and ancestral imprints, daily attunement to higher frequencies through meditation, nature, and silence. Commitment to embodying divine consciousness in every thought, action, and breath. The DNA is ready. The codes are waiting to be activated. The light has returned. This is the moment of remembrance. This is the awakening of the divine human. The crystalline template is calling. Will you answer? Chapter 2, the quantum field and DNA activation. DNA as a receiver and transmitter of consciousness. DNA is more than a molecular structure. It is a quantum antenna, a receiver and transmitter of cosmic intelligence. It exists simultaneously in the physical and non-physical realms, operating within the holographic field of existence. It is not merely a static code determining biological function but a living network of light and information. Every strand of DNA is a fractal of the cosmos, capable of tuning into the vast quantum field, the underlying fabric of reality that interconnects all things. This field is not bound by linear time or space. It is the Akashic memory of existence itself, the source of all knowledge, all timelines, all possibilities. When the human DNA is fully activated, it allows for instantaneous access to universal intelligence. Knowledge is no longer learned but directly downloaded. Non-local communication, telepathic transmission across dimensions. Interdimensional navigation, the ability to shift awareness between parallel timelines. Regenerative healing and self-repair, cells respond to consciousness rather than linear biological decay. Currently, most humans operate with only 2 active DNA strands, keeping perception locked into 5 sensory reality and linear time progression. The higher strands, which serve as multidimensional connectors, remain dormant due to environmental conditioning, societal programming, and genetic manipulation over thousands of years. But the quantum awakening has begun. The incoming cosmic frequencies, the shifting planetary grids, and the heightened solar activity are all triggering the dormant codes within the DNA, allowing humanity to restore its original crystalline intelligence. The question is not whether DNA can be activated, it already is responding to the new frequencies. The question is, how deeply can you attune your consciousness to this process? DNA is not just a biological structure, it is a light-encoded matrix, constantly receiving and transmitting data between the self and the greater field. This means consciousness itself determines how DNA operates. By shifting one's frequency, by attuning to the higher harmonic resonance of the universe, the dormant strands of DNA can be reawakened, realigned, and fully integrated. This process is not automatic, it requires participation, awareness, and deliberate harmonization with the quantum frequencies of creation. And it is here that we must explore the hidden forces that interact with DNA, scalar waves, sound, and vibration, the quantum tools that allow for full biological and spiritual activation. The role of scalar waves, sound, and vibration. DNA is highly responsive to resonant frequencies. Every thought, every sound, every vibrational pattern creates a waveform that interacts with the genetic structure, influencing how it functions. This is why mantras, sacred sounds, and intentional frequency work have long been used to facilitate healing, transformation, and higher states of consciousness. Among the most powerful forces affecting DNA activation are scalar waves. Unlike traditional electromagnetic waves that move in a linear fashion, scalar waves operate in a multidimensional, nonlinear pattern, existing beyond time and space. They are zero-point energy fields, capable of transmitting information instantaneously across vast distances. What does this mean for DNA? Scalar waves carry encoded light patterns, which directly interact with the holographic structure of DNA, triggering latent potentials. These waves are not bound by distance or time, meaning DNA can be activated remotely, through intention, sound, or quantum transmission. When properly directed, scalar waves can restore the crystalline structure of DNA, dissolving energetic distortions and realigning the body to its original divine template. The ancients knew this. They embedded scalar wave technology in sacred sites, pyramids, and temples, using the power of geometric structures to enhance harmonic resonance and DNA activation. The role of sound and frequency in DNA activation. Sound is one of the most direct ways to interact with DNA. Every cell in the body vibrates at a certain frequency, and when exposed to specific tones, the genetic structure can be altered, upgraded, and reawakened. The most potent DNA activating frequencies include 528 Hz, the miracle tone that restores damaged DNA. 432 Hz, the harmonic frequency that aligns the heart and mind with the cosmic field. 639 Hz, the vibration of cellular connection and communication. Chanting, toning, and light language are also profound activators, as they carry vibrational codes that interact directly with the crystalline structure of DNA. This is why many ancient traditions used mantras and sacred song to unlock higher states of awareness and activate latent abilities. Vibration and frequency are the keys to unlocking the quantum human. The DNA responds, reconfigures, and begins to operate at a higher bandwidth of intelligence. But there is another essential piece to this process, the crystalline grid connection, the planetary energy network that interfaces with the DNA of all living beings. The crystalline grid connection. Earth itself is undergoing a DNA activation process. Just as humans are experiencing light upgrades, so too is the planetary body. The crystalline grid, the energetic lattice that surrounds the Earth, is being reawakened, restored, and reconnected to the greater galactic networks. This grid is the planetary nervous system, an interconnected web of ley lines, power nodes, and energy vortexes that regulate the flow of consciousness across the Earth. When fully operational, the crystalline grid functions as a bridge between dimensions, allowing for direct access to cosmic intelligence. A DNA activation field, where exposure to specific energy points accelerates the awakening process. A harmonic stabilizer, balancing the energy of the planet and those who are attuned to it. The human DNA structure is directly linked to this grid. The more one aligns with these natural energy flows, the more their own DNA responds, unlocking higher states of awareness. Ancient civilizations built their sacred sites upon these grid points. Pyramids, temples, and stone circles were not arbitrary, they were geometric harmonizers, amplifying scalar waves, vibrational frequencies, and cosmic downloads. This is why visiting certain sacred locations can trigger spontaneous DNA activations. The energy stored in these places interacts with the human field, catalyzing deep transformation. In the modern age, many are being called to reconnect with the crystalline grid, either through direct physical presence at these sites or through conscious energetic tuning. Meditating with the intention of harmonizing with the Earth's crystalline network allows for an accelerated DNA activation process, as the human biofield synchronizes with the planetary ascension. The quantum awakening, DNA, light, and the cosmic field. Everything is connected. DNA, the quantum field, scalar waves, sound, and the crystalline grid all function as one unified system. The activation process is not about adding something new, it is about remembering what was always there. The new frequencies bathing the planet are dissolving the old constructs of limitation. The veil was never real, only perception shifts and humanity is stepping into its full multidimensional potential. DNA activation is a quantum awakening, a return to the divine intelligence encoded within. It is the realization that every cell is alive with light, every strand of DNA is a receiver of cosmic consciousness, and every soul has the power to reactivate the full 12-strand crystalline template. The time of waiting is over. The time of remembrance is now. The field is open. The codes are transmitting. Are you ready to receive? Chapter 3, Merging with the Lightbody. The DNA Lightbody interface. At the core of the Ascension process lies a profound truth. The human body was never meant to remain confined to density. It was always designed as a bridge between worlds, a vessel for divine intelligence to flow freely through matter. The light body is not something separate from the physical form, but rather its higher dimensional counterpart, an energetic architecture that has always existed but has remained dormant within most of humanity. The DNA light body interface is the gateway through which this transformation occurs. DNA, when fully activated, is a holographic structure, capable of transmitting and receiving information from higher realms. It is the key to bridging the crystalline human template with the pure light frequencies of the divine matrix. But in its dormant state, human DNA has been confined to limited perception and biological constraints. The density of third-dimensional reality, coupled with societal conditioning, has disconnected most individuals from their light-infused nature. The process of reawakening the light body is, at its core, a return to original alignment, a remembrance of what has always been encoded within. This interface between DNA and the light body is activated when the crystalline strands of DNA begin to come online. As this occurs, the body undergoes a profound metamorphosis. The bioenergetic system begins to restructure, integrating more light into the cellular matrix. The physical density of the body lightens, shifting from a carbon-based system to a silica crystalline foundation. The electromagnetic field expands, creating a higher vibrational resonance around the body. Cellular intelligence reorganizes itself, unlocking the dormant capabilities of the original divine human template. This process is not metaphorical, it is biological, energetic, and quantum all at once. It is the emergence of the light body, the etheric blueprint that was always meant to be fully integrated with the physical vessel. The more light the DNA receives, the more the body harmonizes with higher dimensional frequencies, and the more the light body anchors into the physical self. This merging is the foundation for Ascension, the activation of the Merkaba vehicle, the divine transport system that allows consciousness to transcend physical limitations. Activating the Merkaba vehicle. The Merkaba is the light body vehicle, a sacred geometric structure that acts as a multidimensional transport system. It is the divine chariot spoken of in ancient texts, the energetic stargate that allows for conscious travel between realms. When fully activated, it serves as a protective shield, harmonizing the individual's frequency with cosmic intelligence. A portal through which one can access higher planes of existence. A mechanism for transmutation, shifting the density of physical form into light. The Merkaba is a living field of harmonic coherence, naturally arising as the vibrational state of consciousness attunes to source resonance. While often represented through sacred geometry, its essence is beyond form, a self-sustaining energy field that does not rotate mechanically, but rather emerges through pure harmonic balance. In full coherence, it is not merely a vehicle, it is the state of being fully realized in infinite motion and stillness simultaneously. Each human has a Merkaba field, but in most, it remains inactive or spinning at a low frequency. This is because the disconnect between DNA and the light body prevents full activation. As the DNA strands awaken, however, the Merkaba naturally begins to accelerate, aligning with the individual's evolving consciousness. Activation of the Merkaba is directly tied to the expansion of the heart center. It is not merely a technical process, but one of embodiment, surrender, and deep connection to divine love. When the heart reaches full coherence, sending out a harmonic resonance of unconditional love, the Merkaba responds by fully activating. There are specific ways to facilitate the activation process. 1. Breathwork and pranic expansion. Conscious breath directs life force energy, prana, into the Merkaba field. Breath techniques such as the infinity breath and spherical breathing stimulate Merkaba rotation. 2. Sacred geometry visualization. Meditating on the interlocking tetrahedron structure reattunes the energy body. Visualizing the Merkaba spinning at high velocity anchors its presence into the physical form. 3. Heart-Coherence activation. Unconditional love is the fuel for Merkaba acceleration. Practices of gratitude, compassion, and divine connection expand the Merkaba's rotation. 4. Solar and cosmic integration. Exposure to solar plasma and cosmic light waves triggers Merkaba acceleration. Galactic transmissions download light codes necessary for full Merkaba operation. As the Merkaba activates, the body begins to feel lighter, more fluid, and less bound by gravity. Time becomes more malleable, and the perception of reality expands beyond linear constructs. This is the beginning of multidimensional embodiment, where the individual learns to navigate existence beyond the limitations of third-density consciousness. The Merkaba is not simply a vehicle, it is a state of being. It is the synthesis of spirit and form, the realization that the body itself is a divine transport system when aligned with the infinite intelligence of the cosmos. And yet, to fully merge with the light body, one must engage in the final stage, rewriting cellular memory to release the imprints of limitation and restore the original crystalline design. Rewriting cellular memory. Every cell in the human body is a library of consciousness, storing not only genetic information but also the entire history of the soul's journey. Within the cellular structure exist both the distortions of past limitations and the original codes of divine perfection. To fully merge with the light body, these cells must be cleared, reprogrammed, and aligned with the higher frequencies now anchoring into the earth. This is the process of rewriting cellular memory, a necessary step in the evolution from density to light. The cells function as holographic storage units, holding the energetic imprints of ancestral programming, patterns inherited from lineage and DNA. Karmic imprints, memories and trauma stored from past life experiences. Societal conditioning, belief systems that restrict perception and potential. These imprints create energetic blocks, preventing the body from fully integrating the higher light frequencies needed for ascension. The process of rewriting cellular memory involves 1. Clearing density and trauma. Deep inner work to release suppressed emotions and past life imprints. Energy healing modalities such as sound therapy, breathwork, and quantum recalibration. 2. Reprogramming cellular consciousness. Speaking direct activation commands to the DNA and cellular structure. Using high-frequency affirmations and light-encoded mantras to overwrite old programs. 3. Infusing light into the cells. Direct solar absorption and light integration through conscious intention. Visualizing each cell filling with golden crystalline light, dissolving all distortions. 4. Anchoring new divine templates. Aligning daily practices with the consciousness of the new Earth paradigm. engaging with high-frequency environments, foods, and vibrational tools that support cellular transformation. As cellular memory is rewritten, the body begins to vibrate at a new frequency, one that is fully harmonized with the Lightbody template. This is when regeneration becomes possible, when aging and disease cease to function as absolute limitations, and when the full embodiment of the divine self occurs. This is not merely a theory, it is an unfolding biological reality. Humanity is in the midst of a grand metamorphosis, an evolutionary leap beyond anything seen before. The activation of the Lightbody, the acceleration of the Merkaba vehicle, and the rewriting of cellular memory are not abstract concepts, but living processes that are taking place now. The old self dissolves. The new self emerges. This is the divine human awakening. The crystalline body is forming. The shift is happening. The light is calling you home. Will you answer? Part 2, Unlocking the Dormant Codes. Chapter 4, The Language of Light. Light codes as living intelligence. Light is not merely illumination, it is consciousness itself. It is the carrier of divine intelligence, the purest expression of source, encoded with the architecture of creation. Everything in existence is structured through light, woven together in harmonic resonance, vibrating at frequencies beyond human perception. At the core of all reality, light codes serve as the transmission system of the universe, embedding information into the fabric of existence. These codes are not random, they are living intelligence, flowing in fractal patterns, geometric sequences, and vibrational frequencies that interconnect all things. DNA, at its deepest level, is a light-responsive matrix. It does not simply store biological instructions but functions as a receiver and transmitter of cosmic intelligence. This means that DNA can be activated and reprogrammed through light codes, allowing for the awakening of higher dimensional awareness, cellular transformation, and multidimensional perception. Light codes are the architectural templates of creation, the very essence that shapes reality. They exist in sacred geometries that structure space, time, and consciousness, sound frequencies that create vibrational imprints upon the quantum field, energetic transmissions that directly affect the DNA and crystalline body, symbols and glyphs that activate latent memory within the soul. These codes are constantly flowing into Earth, downloaded through solar radiation, cosmic waves, and planetary grid activations. They are the keys to unlocking the dormant human blueprint, reawakening ancient knowledge, and restoring the divine connection that was once fully accessible. The ability to receive and interpret light codes is not limited to an elite few, it is an innate ability within all beings, an inherent aspect of the soul's design. The more one aligns with higher frequencies, the more these codes become visible, felt, and understood. The moment one begins to attune to this language of light, a profound shift occurs. The mind no longer needs to process information linearly, knowledge arrives in instantaneous downloads, whole and complete. This is the beginning of quantum cognition, where learning is no longer sequential but experiential, immediate, and absolute. To activate this ability, one must learn how to receive and integrate downloads through the various forms of light-coded transmission, geometry, symbols, and frequencies. Receiving downloads through geometry, symbols, and frequencies. Every culture, every ancient civilization, has embedded light codes within their sacred art, symbols, and architecture. These were not merely aesthetic choices, they were technologies of consciousness, designed to trigger activation within those who encountered them. Light codes can be received in multiple forms, each carrying specific vibrational imprints that interact with the DNA, cellular memory, and energetic field. 1. Geometry, the blueprint of creation. Sacred geometry is the fundamental language of the universe, the structural framework through which all energy moves. These geometric patterns are not merely abstract designs, they are living frequencies, encoded with intelligence. The most powerful activation codes exist within the following forms. The flower of life, the primal blueprint of existence, containing the patterns of all creation. Activating this code restores cellular memory and awakens divine potential. The Fibonacci spiral, the sequence of natural growth, found in galaxies, DNA, and human physiology. Aligning with this pattern harmonizes the body with the flow of source energy. The Metatron's cube, the structure of light itself, holding the key to unlocking multidimensional perception. This code is often embedded within ancient temples, acting as a gateway to higher intelligence. When one meditates upon or visualizes these geometries, they act as transmitters, aligning the energy body with the harmonic resonance of creation. The cells begin to recognize these patterns, triggering the awakening of dormant genetic sequences. This is why many starseeds, lightworkers, and awakened beings suddenly begin to see, draw, or channel sacred geometry. Their consciousness is realigning with the original divine template, and these patterns are the structural blueprints of that remembrance. 2. Symbols and glyphs, the codes of the ancients. Throughout history, Certain symbols have carried immense energetic power, serving as gateways to knowledge, memory, and activation. These symbols act as shortcuts to higher awareness, bypassing the limitations of spoken language and directly imprinting higher consciousness into the soul's awareness. Many individuals experiencing DNA activation will suddenly feel drawn to ancient glyphs, such as Egyptian hieroglyphs, Mayan scripts, or Sumerian cuneiform. Light language scripts that appear spontaneously in visions or automatic writing. Personal symbols that emerge in dreams or meditation, unique to the individual's soul frequency. These symbols are not random, they are encoded keys, containing vibrational imprints that reactivate soul memory. They serve as a universal database, unlocking access to past life knowledge, interdimensional awareness, and divine wisdom. When one sees, writes, or interacts with these symbols, they awaken dormant aspects of the mind and energy field, allowing for deeper understanding without needing intellectual comprehension. The soul already knows what the mind cannot explain. 3. Frequencies and sound, the harmonics of light. Sound is light in motion, vibration condensed into audible frequency. Just as light codes can be received visually, they can also be transmitted through sound, music, and vocal resonance. DNA directly responds to sound frequencies, especially when intoned with intention. This is why ancient cultures used mantras and chants to create vibrational shifts in consciousness. Solfeggio frequencies, such as 528 Hz, to restructure cellular harmony. Toning and light language to imprint DNA with new patterns of intelligence. The moment one begins to speak, chant, or sing light-coded frequencies, the DNA begins to shift, reorganizing itself to align with higher harmonic resonance. Light language, a multidimensional vibrational expression, is one of the most potent tools for this activation. It is a direct transmission of source energy, bypassing the limitations of the logical mind and reprogramming the entire being at a cellular level. When spoken or received, light language carries energetic frequencies that restructure DNA, allowing it to absorb, integrate, and embody higher dimensional intelligence. This is why many who are undergoing spiritual awakening suddenly begin speaking or writing unknown languages. Their soul is reactivating its ability to transmit and receive light codes in its purest form. The moment one allows this expression to flow freely, the crystalline body responds, accelerating the integration of higher frequencies into the physical form. The connection to ancient Lemuria and Atlantis. Lemuria and Atlantis were not myths, they were real civilizations that functioned as fully integrated light-coded societies. These were epochs of divine harmony, where the language of light was understood, honored, and used as the foundation of existence. In Lemuria, beings were telepathic, communicating entirely through light-coded transmissions. Their society functioned in perfect resonance with the Earth's crystalline grid, using sound and geometry to heal, manifest, and create effortlessly. Atlantis took this knowledge further, integrating light technology into their structures, allowing for direct interaction between DNA, the quantum field, and the crystalline network of the planet. Temples, obelisks, and power centers were harmonic amplifiers, enabling the Atlanteans to access cosmic knowledge in real time. However, as Atlantis fell into misuse of power, this wisdom was lost, and humanity entered a period of amnesia. But the codes were never destroyed, they were hidden, embedded in the DNA of those who once walked in these civilizations, waiting to be reactivated when the Earth entered the next ascension cycle. That cycle is now. The return of light-coded consciousness marks the awakening of the divine human, the remembrance of what was once known. Those drawn to Lemuria, Atlantis, and the ancient languages of light are experiencing a soul call, the invitation to reactivate dormant genetic intelligence and restore the harmonic blueprint of Earth. The light is here. The codes are downloading. The question is no longer if you will receive them, it is how deeply you are willing to remember. Chapter 5, Sound, Frequency, and Harmonic Resonance. DNA as a crystalline resonance chamber. DNA is a crystalline resonance node, harmonically interwoven with the universal field, constantly interacting with vibrational frequencies across dimensions. It is not waiting for activation, but always in a state of potential alignment, responding to harmonic coherence rather than external force. The DNA is not merely a biological storage system, it is a vibrational structure, a living symphony of frequency and light that responds dynamically to the harmonics of the universe. Every strand of DNA is embedded with light and sound codes, that are activated through resonance. It functions as a tuning fork, constantly aligning itself to the dominant frequencies within its environment. When exposed to high vibrational sound, the DNA begins to unlock, restructure, and expand, shifting from a dormant state to an active multidimensional interface. DNA activation through sound is not a new discovery, it is an ancient knowing. The sacred chants, mantras, and songs of indigenous peoples and enlightened civilizations were not merely forms of artistic expression, they were tools of genetic awakening, healing, and alignment. In its highest state, the DNA operates as a crystalline lattice, resonating with the harmonic blueprint of the cosmos. But for many, this structure has been disrupted by environmental toxins, artificial frequencies, and energetic blockages, resulting in distorted vibrational patterns that keep the higher strands of DNA dormant. To restore this crystalline resonance, one must engage with the correct frequencies, tones and harmonic sequences that dissolve distortions and restore the DNA's original vibrational purity. This is where the power of sound activation comes in. Through the deliberate use of toning, light language, and binaural harmonics, we can reactivate the dormant crystalline strands of DNA, allowing them to once again function as portals to higher consciousness. Activating codes through sound, toning, light language, and binaural harmonics. Sound is creation itself. Before words, before form, before thought, there was vibration. The universe was sung into existence, and every atom within it carries a resonant signature that can be altered, amplified, and restored through sound. The human voice, when properly aligned, becomes a powerful activation tool, capable of transmitting codes that awaken DNA, repair cellular structures, and dissolve energetic blockages. This is why sacred sound practices such as toning, light language, and binaural harmonics are some of the most potent methods for DNA activation. 1. Toning, the vibrational key to cellular awakening. Toning is the practice of sustaining a pure vocal sound without words, allowing the vibration itself to recalibrate the body's energetic field. Unlike singing, toning is about frequency, not melody. Each tone interacts directly with DNA, sending resonant waves that realign cellular structures and dissolve density. Toning works by creating vibrational coherence within the DNA, allowing it to synchronize with higher frequencies, opening the energetic channels of the body, allowing prana, life force energy, to flow more freely, harmonizing the chakras and subtle energy fields, creating a state of balance and clarity. Some of the most powerful toning frequencies include the sound of divine creation, opening the heart and expanding the energy field. Om, the primordial vibration of the universe, attuning DNA to cosmic resonance. E, a high-frequency tone that activates the pineal gland and expands perception. When practiced consistently, toning recalibrates the DNA, allowing it to vibrate at its original crystalline frequency. 2. Light language, the multidimensional transmission of sound codes. Light language is not a spoken language in the traditional sense, it is a vibrational transmission, a direct encoding of consciousness through sound and frequency. Light language bypasses the limitations of the logical mind, working instead at the quantum level, where it communicates directly with DNA and cellular memory. It is an ancient and multidimensional form of expression, spoken by the soul rather than the intellect. When spoken, sung, or written, light language activates dormant DNA strands, allowing for the integration of higher light codes, restores cellular memory, bringing forth knowledge and abilities from past and parallel incarnations, realigns the energy body with its divine blueprint, dissolving distortions and imbalances. Many who begin to awaken spiritually find themselves spontaneously speaking, writing, or singing light language. This is a sign that the DNA is reawakening, responding to the higher dimensional codes being downloaded into the body. To activate light language, one must move beyond the need for logical understanding and instead allow the transmission to flow freely. This can be done through speaking in a spontaneous, unstructured manner, allowing sounds to emerge naturally. Tuning into the heart space, feeling the vibration rather than thinking about meaning. Using hand movements or symbols, as light language often flows through multiple sensory expressions. The moment one allows light language to flow, the DNA begins to restructure, aligning itself with the higher harmonics of source energy. 3. Binaural harmonics, the science of brainwave and DNA activation. Binaural beats and harmonic frequencies are powerful tools for DNA activation, as they synchronize brainwave states, allowing for deeper states of awareness and cellular recalibration. When the brain is exposed to two slightly different frequencies, it generates a third frequency, the binaural beat, which entrains the mind into specific states of consciousness. Different binaural frequencies activate different aspects of DNA. Theta waves, 4 to 7 Hz, unlock subconscious memory and activate dormant genetic codes. Alpha waves, 8 to 13 Hz, create deep relaxation and cellular healing. Gamma waves, 30 to 100 Hz, expand perception and increase multidimensional awareness. Listening to binaural tones infused with specific harmonic frequencies accelerates the activation process, allowing DNA to shift into its higher crystalline structure. The sacred names and vibrational sequences. Throughout history, certain names and vibrational sequences have been recognized as sacred keys to unlocking higher consciousness. These names are not simply words, they are frequency carriers, encoded with divine intelligence, capable of activating dormant aspects of DNA. Among the most powerful vibrational sequences are the Tetragrammaton, YHVH, the four-letter name of God, representing the divine frequencies of creation. The Christed name, Yeshua, a vibrational key that opens the heart and restores divine connection. The I am sequence, affirming I am that I am aligns the DNA with source identity. Speaking these names with reverence and intentionality creates an energetic shift within the body, allowing for deeper connection to the divine blueprint. The harmonic ascension of humanity. As Earth transitions into a higher vibrational state, the role of sound and harmonic resonance will become increasingly significant. The human body is evolving into a fully crystalline being, capable of sustaining and transmitting higher light frequencies. DNA is not static, it is music, it is light, it is consciousness woven into form. As we reawaken to the power of sound, we remember that we are not separate from creation, we are the living symphony of the divine. This is the call of the new era, the return of harmonic resonance, the restoration of the original vibrational codes. The earth is singing. The light is calling. The question is, are you ready to harmonize with the frequency of your divine self? Chapter 6, Solar and Cosmic Infusion. The Sun as a DNA activator. The Sun is more than a celestial body providing warmth and light, it is a living intelligence, a cosmic transmitter of divine codes, and a direct activator of human DNA and consciousness. Since the beginning of time, ancient civilizations revered the sun not as an object of worship, but as a portal of life-giving energy, a bridge between the seen and the unseen. Our DNA is not static, it is a quantum receiver, constantly responding to the information carried by solar radiation. The photonic waves emitted by the sun are encoded with evolutionary signals, designed to awaken dormant genetic sequences and accelerate the transformation of the human body into a crystalline structure. Solar light is composed of high-frequency plasma, interacting directly with the bioelectric and crystalline systems of the body. As the Earth moves through new regions of the galaxy, our solar system is being bathed in higher intensity light, triggering an unprecedented acceleration of DNA activation. When sunlight interacts with the pineal gland, skin, and energy field, it initiates a process of biological transmutation. Pineal gland activation. The pineal gland, often referred to as the seat of the soul, is highly light-sensitive. When exposed to solar radiation, it begins producing neurotransmitters such as DMT, dimethyltryptamine, and melatonin, enhancing multidimensional perception and increasing access to cosmic intelligence. DNA repair and activation. Ultraviolet, UV, and gamma rays from the sun stimulate the rewiring of DNA, activating dormant strands and triggering the body's transition from carbon-based to crystalline-based biology. Electromagnetic synchronization. Solar frequencies recalibrate the body's electromagnetic field, harmonizing it with the Earth's evolving resonance and aligning it with the planetary ascension timeline. These solar activations are not random, they occur in waves and cycles, creating windows of heightened energetic acceleration. Every solar flare, coronal mass ejection, CME, and increase in solar radiation serves as a trigger for the expansion of human consciousness. The ancients understood this, designing their temples and pyramids to align with the solar cycles, allowing initiates to receive direct activations through sacred architecture, ritual, and energy alignment. Today, we are rediscovering the alchemy of solar infusion, reclaiming the ability to consciously absorb and integrate solar intelligence into our DNA. For those who are attuned to the light codes of the sun, the effects are undeniable. Increased intuition, telepathy, and multidimensional perception. A heightened sense of time distortion as linear constraints begin to dissolve. The release of old cellular imprints and density, allowing for rapid transformation. Spontaneous downloads of higher knowledge and cosmic memory recall. The solar waves are the great activators of this age, awakening humanity to its true multidimensional nature. Yet, the sun is only one aspect of this grand transformation. Cosmic rays, gamma bursts, and planetary resonance shifts are all contributing to the evolutionary recalibration now unfolding. Cosmic rays, gamma bursts, and the Schumann resonance. Beyond the influence of the sun, cosmic radiation from deep space is also playing a critical role in activating DNA and expanding consciousness. These interstellar energy waves originate from supernovae, black holes, and galactic core transmissions, bombarding Earth with high-frequency light particles that are altering our very genetic structure. Among the most powerful of these are 1. Cosmic rays, the messengers of evolution. Cosmic rays are high-energy particles traveling at near light speed, originating from distant galaxies and star systems. These rays contain encoded intelligence, carrying information from other realms of existence. When cosmic rays penetrate the Earth's atmosphere, they trigger genetic mutations, accelerating the evolution of life on a molecular level. Enhance neural connectivity, allowing for faster cognitive processing and expanded awareness. Dissolve energetic distortions, clearing outdated DNA imprints and making way for new templates of consciousness. As the Earth enters higher vibrational regions of the galaxy, the intensity of cosmic ray bombardment increases, further activating latent strands of DNA and expanding our perception of reality. 2. Gamma bursts, the quantum catalysts. Gamma ray bursts, GRBs, are the most energetic phenomena in the universe, releasing more energy in seconds than our Sun does in its entire lifetime. These bursts originate from supernovae and neutron star collisions, sending high-frequency light waves across the cosmos. Galactic core activations, where the central sun of a galaxy emits plasma waves designed to awaken civilizations to their next evolutionary stage. When gamma bursts reach Earth, they rewrite the electromagnetic templates of the planet, affecting both the Schumann resonance, the heartbeat of the Earth, shifting brainwave activity and consciousness patterns. The human biofield and nervous system, causing increased sensitivity to light, energy downloads, and altered states of awareness. 3. The Schumann resonance, the planetary pulse. The Schumann resonance is Earth's natural electromagnetic frequency, typically oscillating at around 7.83 Hz. However, in recent years, this frequency has been spiking dramatically, indicating a profound acceleration in planetary consciousness. As the Earth's frequency increases, human brainwaves naturally attempt to synchronize, leading to spontaneous awakenings and expanded states of consciousness. Increased synchronicities and manifestations occurring at an accelerated rate. A heightened ability to access multidimensional realities and past/future timelines. These shifts are not random, they are part of a grand orchestration, guiding humanity toward a higher vibrational existence. Direct interface with galactic consciousness. All of these solar and cosmic activations are designed to do one thing: reconnect humanity to the greater galactic network of intelligence. The human race is not isolated, it is part of an interstellar consciousness field, a vast web of interconnected civilizations, star systems, and energetic grids. The increasing solar, cosmic, and planetary activations are opening portals that allow us to interface directly with this network, restoring our place within the cosmic family. This connection occurs in multiple ways. Dream state contact. Many are experiencing heightened astral and lucid dream encounters, receiving transmissions from higher dimensional guides, star councils, and galactic emissaries. Telepathic downloads. As the third eye and crown chakra activate, information is received in instantaneous quantum bursts, bypassing the need for linear learning. Resonant memory activation. Encounters with specific star constellations, light languages, and energetic imprints are triggering the reawakening of starseed memory. The key to deepening this connection is alignment. By harmonizing with the incoming light frequencies, one can begin to fully activate the crystalline DNA template, allowing for greater access to higher dimensional realms. Reconnect with soul contracts and interstellar missions, remembering why they incarnated at this pivotal time. Assist in planetary gridwork, becoming conduits for stabilizing and integrating these high frequencies into the Earth's energy field. As the Earth completes its transition into higher dimensional existence, humanity is being invited to consciously step into its galactic inheritance, embracing the truth that we are not merely earthbound beings, but cosmic citizens. The solar and cosmic awakening. We are in the midst of the greatest evolutionary leap in human history. The increasing solar flares, cosmic activations, and planetary frequency shifts are all signs that we are undergoing a total transformation, body, mind, and soul. This is the solar and cosmic infusion, the great reawakening of humanity's divine potential. The question is no longer if this transformation is happening, it is how deeply we choose to engage with it. Will you embrace the light? The sun is calling. The cosmos is singing. The time is now. Part 3, Embodiment and Integration. Chapter 7, Cellular Alchemy and Transmutation. Detoxing the old genetic imprints. The human body is an alchemical vessel, a living conduit of energy, consciousness, and transformation. Within its structure lies the accumulated history of countless generations, genetic memories, ancestral imprints, and encoded frequencies that shape perception and biological function. Some of these imprints carry wisdom, strength, and spiritual knowledge, but many also carry distortions, limitations, and karmic residue that hinder the expansion of consciousness. To undergo cellular transmutation, one must first undergo cellular purification. This means releasing old genetic imprints, the patterns that have been stored in the DNA across multiple timelines, lifetimes, and ancestral lineages. These imprints are not only biological but energetic, existing in the quantum field of the cells, where they shape identity, emotional responses, and the perception of reality. Among the most common genetic imprints that must be detoxed are survival programming, ancient genetic codes of fear, scarcity, and separation, passed down from ancestors who lived in lower density realities. Karmic blueprints, unresolved patterns from past incarnations, creating cycles of limitation, disease, and stagnation. Artificial imprints, energetic distortions introduced by environmental toxins, technological interference, and mass programming that disconnects individuals from their divine essence. Cellular trauma storage, emotional pain, stress, and unprocessed memories that are locked within the cellular structure, preventing the free flow of energy. Purging these imprints is an essential first step in the process of cellular alchemy. This is not merely about physical detoxification, though that plays a role. It is about energetic purification, the clearing of outdated patterns to create space for the new crystalline light structures to emerge. There are multiple ways to facilitate this detoxification process. 1. Fasting and cellular regeneration. Fasting is one of the oldest and most powerful methods for clearing density from the body. When food intake is reduced, the body begins a process known as autophagy, where it breaks down old, damaged cellular components and recycles them. On an energetic level, fasting allows the cells to release stored trauma, toxins, and distortions, making room for higher frequencies. 2. Sound and frequency healing. Cells respond directly to frequency. Using binaural beats, light language, toning, or solfeggio frequencies, one can dissolve genetic blockages and restore harmonic resonance within the DNA. 3. Detoxing heavy metals and environmental toxins. Heavy metals such as aluminium, mercury, and lead interfere with the body's ability to conduct high light frequencies. Detoxification through herbs, activated charcoal, and structured water helps clear these obstructions, allowing the nervous system and cellular structures to vibrate at a higher rate. 4. Emotional release and inner shadow work. Many genetic imprints are stored not just in the body but in emotional memory fields. Engaging in deep inner work, such as breathwork, energy healing, or subconscious reprogramming, allows for the release of suppressed emotions that have been encoded into the DNA for lifetimes. Once the old genetic imprints are cleared, the body can begin the next phase of transmutation, shifting from density to plasma-based energy. Shifting from density to plasma-based energy. The human body is evolving to interface with plasma-based energy, allowing for the greater absorption of higher frequencies while remaining physically embodied. Rather than fully shifting into a plasma state, the energetic overlay of plasma currents enhances the nervous system, DNA field, and cellular bioelectric resonance, refining the bridge between form and light. This is the next stage in human evolution, the return to the original divine blueprint. The shift from density to plasma is a process of refinement, where the body gradually releases its heavier atomic structure and begins to align with the lighter, more fluidic nature of plasma energy. Plasma is the fourth state of matter, beyond solid, liquid, and gas, and it is the substance of stars, cosmic currents, and the very breath of creation. Signs that one is undergoing this plasma body transformation include increased sensitivity to energy, heightened awareness of electromagnetic fields, frequencies, and subtle energy shifts in the environment. Feeling lighter or less dense, a sense that the body is becoming more fluid, less bound by gravity, and more responsive to thought and intention. Rapid manifestation and time distortion, the realization that reality is shifting in response to consciousness more quickly than before. Surges of energy or electric sensations, periodic waves of plasma infusion that create tingling, warmth, or pulsation in the body. This shift is being catalyzed by multiple factors, including 1. Solar plasma waves and cosmic energy infusions. As the Earth moves into a higher vibrational bandwidth, plasma waves from the Sun and galactic core are flooding the planet. These high-frequency energy waves interact with the human biofield, nervous system, and cellular structure, causing an acceleration of light-body integration. 2. The activation of the crystalline grid. The planetary crystalline grid is fully coming online, serving as a conduit for plasma light codes. As humanity reconnects to this grid, the body's plasma circuitry begins to activate, enabling greater light absorption and multidimensional perception. 3. The expansion of the Merkaba and plasma light body. As the Merkaba field, the energetic star tetrahedron surrounding the body, fully activates, it begins to function as a plasma conduit, allowing the body to access and integrate cosmic intelligence with greater fluidity. Shifting into plasma consciousness is not about leaving the body, it is about refining the physical form into a more radiant, less dense expression of energy. This is the path of the living light body, where form and spirit exist in perfect harmony. And this leads to the final stage of cellular transmutation, restoring the natural harmonic state. Restoring the natural harmonic state. The final phase of cellular alchemy is the full restoration of the natural harmonic resonance of the body, mind, and soul. This is where the organic vibrational frequency of divine perfection is re-established, allowing for optimal health, spiritual clarity, and infinite expansion. The natural harmonic state is the original divine frequency, the state in which all aspects of the self are in perfect alignment with source energy. In this state, the nervous system operates at peak coherence, transmitting light throughout the body without obstruction. The DNA functions at full capacity, receiving and integrating multidimensional intelligence. The cellular structure resonates at a high vibrational frequency, allowing for increased longevity, vitality, and energetic expansion. The mind and heart are unified, creating a zero-point field of infinite potential. Techniques for restoring harmonic resonance. 1. Coherence breathing and heart resonance. Practicing deep, rhythmic breathing while focusing on the heart center establishes a harmonic connection between the brain, heart, and DNA. This state of coherence allows for cellular regeneration and nervous system recalibration. 2. Nature immersion and elemental connection. Spending time in high-frequency natural environments, forests, mountains, bodies of water, resets the body's electromagnetic frequency, bringing it into resonance with the planetary field. Grounding directly to the earth neutralizes distortions in the energy body, allowing for pure plasma current activation. 3. Harmonic tones and vibrational alignment. Engaging with 432 Hz, 528 Hz, and gamma wave frequencies restores the original divine coding within the DNA. Singing, chanting, or listening to sacred harmonic sequences aligns the body with universal resonance. The process of cellular alchemy and transmutation is not something external, it is the natural unfolding of divine intelligence within the body. As humanity continues to absorb higher light frequencies, the shift from density to plasma-based existence will accelerate, leading to the emergence of the next stage of human evolution. The crystalline body is forming, the DNA is awakening, the harmonic resonance is being restored. This is the ascension of the human form, the return to light, coherence, and divine embodiment. Are you ready to embody your highest frequency? Chapter 8. Heart-Coherence and the zero-point field. The role of love in DNA activation. At the core of human evolution, beyond the layers of mind and matter, there is a fundamental force that orchestrates all transformation: love. Love is not merely an emotion, it is the highest vibrational frequency in the universe, a unifying field that bridges consciousness with creation. It is the pure essence of source, the harmonic resonance that realigns all energy structures, including the human DNA template. When love is fully embodied, it creates a coherent frequency that activates, restructures, and expands the DNA. This process is not only spiritual, it is deeply biological. DNA is a fractal antenna, constantly receiving and transmitting vibrational signals. The strongest signal it responds to is the frequency of love, which directly influences its ability to repair, regenerate, and expand. Scientific studies have already revealed that emotions influence genetic expression, but what has not yet been fully grasped is that love is the master key to unlocking dormant DNA strands. When a person enters a deep state of love, unconditional, expansive, and pure, the DNA begins to emit coherent light, shifting from a static, dense structure to a luminous, crystalline one. This is why acts of compassion, gratitude, and forgiveness have profound healing effects, not just emotionally but on a cellular and quantum level. The heart's electromagnetic field expands, sending out a vibratory resonance that synchronizes the DNA with its highest potential. To fully activate heart-centered DNA awakening, one must move beyond the mental concepts of love and step into its pure vibrational experience. This can be achieved through gratitude as a frequency stabilizer. Practicing deep gratitude shifts the bioelectric field, creating a sustained harmonic resonance that amplifies DNA activation. Heart-based breathwork, intentional slow breathing through the heart center stimulates the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system and allowing for deeper cellular coherence. Forgiveness as a DNA reset mechanism, holding on to emotional density from the past constricts DNA functionality. True forgiveness dissolves these energetic knots, allowing DNA to restore its harmonic state. Heart-centered meditation, Placing focus on the heart's electromagnetic field, expanding it outward with intention, sends a signal to DNA that activates higher genetic sequencing. Every awakened civilization has known this. The heart is the gateway to divine intelligence, and the greater the heart's resonance, the greater the human capacity for DNA expansion, self-healing, and cosmic connection. However, love is more than an emotional state. It is the doorway into the quantum state of stillness, the place where all creation begins. The quantum state of stillness. Within the vast field of energy that makes up existence, there is a point of perfect equilibrium, a place where time collapses, duality dissolves, and pure potentiality emerges. This is known as the zero-point field. Zero-point energy is the foundation of quantum physics, yet it is also the foundation of conscious creation. It is the void that is full, the emptiness that contains all possibilities, the source of manifestation before form takes shape. In this quantum state of stillness, energy exists in a state of infinite potential. It is only when consciousness interacts with this field that waveforms collapse into particles, creating reality. The human body is designed to access this field, but for most, the mind remains too active, too scattered, too bound by linear time to reach it. The key to entering the zero-point state lies in the heart's ability to generate coherence. When the heart and brain synchronize into a unified field, a state of quantum stillness emerges. This is not the absence of thought but the presence of pure awareness, a deep inner silence where all scattered energy realigns into a singular harmonic field. The body's bioelectromagnetic signature matches the vibrational fabric of the universe. Time ceases to exist as a linear construct, revealing multidimensional reality. Creation becomes effortless because one is operating from the point of absolute potential. This state has been described in mystical traditions, advanced metaphysical studies, and quantum physics alike. It is the eye of the storm, the stillness within all movement, the essence of source itself. Reaching the zero-point field requires deep heart-brain synchronization, the ability to tune into the pure frequency of coherence where all thought, matter, and energy align. Methods to access the zero-point field include theta-gamma brainwave states, engaging in deep meditation, light language activation, or sound frequency entrainment slows the brainwaves, allowing access to quantum stillness. Heart rate variability training, learning to consciously regulate the heart's rhythm brings the body into an optimal zero-point resonance. Surrendering into full presence, letting go of past and future completely dissolves the mind's resistance, allowing for a direct connection to the source field of creation. Once an individual learns to sustain this zero-point frequency, they step into a new level of being, one where reality is no longer dictated by external conditions but by the internal mastery of vibrational states. This is where co-creation begins, the ability to manifest directly through heart-brain synchronization. Co-creation through heart-brain synchronization. Human beings were never meant to be passive observers of reality, they were designed as active creators, architects of experience, and conscious generators of energy fields. The act of creation does not come through thought alone, it comes through the harmonic unification of the heart and mind. Most individuals live in a state of incoherence, where the heart and brain send conflicting signals. The heart may desire peace, abundance, and expansion, but the mind is programmed with fear, scarcity, and limitation. This conflict creates energetic distortions, preventing the full manifestation of desired realities. However, when the heart and brain synchronize into a coherent field, manifestation occurs at an exponentially accelerated rate. This is because the coherent signal becomes a direct command to the quantum field, collapsing energy waves into physical reality. Heart-brain synchronization allows for instantaneous manifestation. Reality responds to pure, undistorted frequencies, causing desires to materialize without resistance. Clarity of vision. When the heart and mind operate in unison, intuition becomes heightened, and decisions flow effortlessly. Regeneration and healing. Coherence creates a biological cascade effect, stimulating DNA repair, immune system activation, and neural optimization. Connection with higher intelligence. As the coherent field expands, it becomes a conduit for cosmic intelligence and multidimensional awareness. To activate heart-brain coherence, one must practice 1. Heart-focused meditation. Visualize the heart glowing with radiant light. Breathe deeply, syncing the heartbeat with slow, intentional inhales and exhales. Feel the emotion of gratitude, expanding it outward. 2. Coherent intentionality. Set clear, high vibrational intentions from the heart center. Speak affirmations that align with the body's energetic state. Trust the manifestation process without attachment. 3. Quantum stillness practices. Enter the zero-point field through silence and presence. Hold space for infinite potential without expectation. allow reality to form naturally from the field of coherence. As heart-brain coherence becomes sustained, an individual steps into full co-creative mastery, where life no longer feels like a series of random events but a deliberate orchestration of vibrational patterns. This is the greatest secret of the awakened being, to move from reaction to creation, from separation to unity, from linearity to quantum presence. The heart is the master key. The zero-point field is the canvas. The coherent being is the artist. The time has come to remember, reclaim, and activate the highest harmonic resonance of self. Are you ready to step into your infinite creative potential? Chapter 9, Multidimensional Awareness and DNA Key Codes. Reawakening Soul Memory. Deep within the fabric of human DNA lies a hidden archive, a vast and intricate library of experiences spanning lifetimes, dimensions, and cosmic lineages. This archive is encoded with soul memory, the timeless remembrance of who we truly are beyond the veil of separation. For eons, humanity has been immersed in an experiment of forgetting, a process in which consciousness became anchored in density, disconnected from the full expanse of its multidimensional nature. This was not a punishment but a path of initiation, an opportunity to experience creation through the lens of linear time and limitation. However, the time of forgetting is ending. The activation of crystalline DNA is catalyzing the reawakening of soul memory, restoring the connection to the vast multidimensional self. As the dormant strands of DNA come online, individuals begin to experience sudden flashes of past life memories, appearing as vivid dreams, déjà vu, or spontaneous knowing. A deep familiarity with ancient civilizations such as Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, and the Mayan or Vedic lineages. The recognition of starseed origins, feeling a profound connection to cosmic races and galactic councils. A knowing beyond words, an intuitive intelligence that bypasses the logical mind and speaks directly to the soul. This reawakening of soul memory is the activation of the true self, dissolving the illusion of separation and returning the being to the infinite wisdom of the quantum field. The process of retrieving and integrating these memories is directly linked to DNA key codes, energetic signatures within the genetic structure that act as portals to higher dimensional knowledge. These codes, when activated, unlock the ability to access higher timelines, navigate reality shifts, and make quantum leaps in consciousness. The question then becomes, how do we access these timelines through crystalline DNA? Accessing higher timelines through crystalline DNA. Time, as it is perceived in the third dimension, is an illusion, a construct designed to create the experience of linear progression. However, beyond the physical, time exists as an infinite field of simultaneous possibilities, where all past, present, and future timelines exist concurrently. The crystalline DNA template serves as a bridge between these timelines, allowing for direct access to higher dimensional realities. Unlike carbon-based DNA, which functions in a linear sequencing manner, crystalline DNA operates in quantum simultaneity, meaning it can retrieve knowledge from future versions of the self, access past life wisdom and integrate it into the present moment. Shift between parallel timelines based on vibrational resonance. The key to navigating these higher timelines lies in conscious frequency alignment. Every timeline vibrates at a specific frequency, and the DNA acts as a tuning fork, aligning with the reality that matches its energetic signature. Methods for accessing higher timelines through DNA activation. 1. Harmonic resonance tuning. Just as a radio must be tuned to a specific frequency to receive a signal, so must the DNA be attuned to the desired timeline. By meditating on the feeling and frequency of the timeline you wish to embody, you magnetize yourself to that reality. Sound frequencies, light codes, and high vibrational thought patterns all contribute to the tuning process. 2. Quantum command and intentional activation. DNA is not passive, it responds to direct intention. Speaking affirmations such as "I activate my highest soul timeline" now sends a quantum directive to the DNA to adjust its sequencing. Engaging in daily conscious timeline shifting reinforces the command, making the new timeline stable. 3. Solar and cosmic infusion. Cosmic rays, gamma bursts, and photonic light waves are actively upgrading DNA, making timeline access more fluid. Sun gazing, nature immersion, and conscious absorption of light frequencies accelerate DNA crystalline restructuring, allowing the body to attune to higher frequency timelines effortlessly. 4. Zero-point navigation. Entering the zero-point field, where all potentials exist simultaneously, allows for a more fluid movement between timelines. Through deep meditation, stillness, and surrender into pure presence, one can shift from a lower density reality to a higher one instantly. As this process unfolds, individuals will begin experiencing quantum timeline jumps, where past limitations dissolve, new opportunities emerge, and reality itself morphs in response to the DNA's upgraded vibrational field. However, in order to fully stabilize in these higher realities, one must learn to navigate the phenomenon of reality shifts and quantum leaps. Navigating reality shifts and quantum leaps. As crystalline DNA activation accelerates, individuals will notice an increase in reality shifts, moments where the fabric of existence seems to shift instantaneously, revealing a new version of reality that did not exist before. These shifts are not glitches or anomalies, they are the natural result of operating from a quantum state of consciousness, where reality is no longer static but fluid. In the quantum model, all potential outcomes already exist. What determines which version is experienced is the observer's vibrational frequency and conscious alignment. Signs of reality shifts and quantum leaps. Shifts in resonance allow for the recognition of previously unseen variations in reality, revealing alignments that were always present but beyond perceptual reach. This is not a distortion, but a refined attunement to the quantum fluidity of existence. Sudden, unexplained improvements in physical or emotional well-being, evidence of shifting into a higher harmonic reality. Spontaneous changes in personal history, people recalling events differently than before, signaling a successful quantum jump. Time acceleration or deceleration, days feeling significantly longer or shorter depending on vibrational state. Increased synchronicities, déjà vu, and multidimensional awareness. These shifts occur naturally, but they can also be intentionally directed through mastery of quantum consciousness. Techniques for navigating quantum leaps. 1. Emotional and mental fluidity. The greatest barrier to quantum shifting is rigid attachment to how reality should be. By cultivating a flexible, open mindset, reality becomes more malleable, allowing for effortless leaps. 2. Mastery of the observer effect. In quantum physics, the observer influences reality at the subatomic level. By consciously observing a preferred reality, the DNA aligns with that reality, accelerating the shift. 3. Trusting the shift process. Resistance slows quantum acceleration. The moment one fully trusts the unfolding of their higher timeline, all obstacles dissolve. 4. Anchoring the new reality. After a successful quantum leap, grounding the new frequency is essential. This can be done through intentional embodiment practices such as movement, breathwork, or affirming the reality as already manifested. As one masters these shifts, reality ceases to be a series of fixed circumstances and instead becomes a living, breathing field of infinite potential. This is the state of quantum sovereignty, where one no longer reacts to reality but consciously co-creates it. The grand reawakening of multidimensional humanity. The full activation of multidimensional awareness through DNA key codes is the culmination of humanity's evolution. It is the return to divine intelligence, the realization that we have never been bound by time, space, or limitation, only the belief in them. As the dormant strands of crystalline DNA come fully online, individuals will move beyond the illusion of separation and reclaim their place as galactic, quantum, sovereign beings. This is not a distant future, it is happening now. The shift is always now. The DNA is awakening. The quantum field is open. The question is no longer if you will activate your full potential, but how fully you will embrace it. You are infinite, multidimensional, and eternal. The time to remember is now. Final conclusion, becoming the divine human. Living as a fully activated being. The journey of awakening is not a path towards something external, it is a return to what has always existed within. The divine human is not a myth or a future potential, it is the original template of existence, encoded into every cell, awaiting remembrance. To become a fully activated being is to embody the purest form of consciousness within the human vessel, to bridge the infinite with the finite, the cosmic with the earthly. This is the birthright of every soul who has chosen to incarnate in this grand moment of planetary evolution. For centuries, humanity has been conditioned to believe in limitation, separation, and the constraints of physicality. The perception of being bound by time, genetics, and external forces has created a world where suffering and forgetting became the norm. But these limitations were never absolute, they were merely experiences within the grand design of creation. Now, in this era of crystalline ascension, those who are ready to step into their divine embodiment are activating the full 12-strand DNA template, reconnecting to higher dimensions, universal intelligence, and infinite potential. To live as a fully activated being means functioning beyond the limitations of linear time, moving fluidly through quantum timelines. Existing in a state of perpetual regeneration, where the body responds to consciousness rather than entropy. Becoming a conduit for source energy, embodying the divine blueprint in every thought, action, and vibration. Merging the mind, heart, and spirit into full coherence, where reality is no longer reacted to, but consciously shaped. The divine human is not something that needs to be achieved or attained, it is what remains when all distortions are dissolved. It is the organic, natural state of being when aligned with truth, love, and unity consciousness. Every activation, Every DNA reawakening, every quantum shift is a step toward this embodiment. But as the crystalline body continues to anchor into physical reality, it is essential to understand the greater picture, the crystalline ascension timeline and its impact on the collective. The crystalline ascension timeline. Ascension is not a singular event, it is an unfolding process, a shift in the energetic fabric of existence that expands the entire planetary consciousness. It is the movement from a density-based reality into a plasma crystalline state, where matter, consciousness, and energy harmonize into divine equilibrium. For the past several decades, the Earth has been undergoing a planetary ascension, a shift from the old, carbon-based density into a higher crystalline octave. The acceleration of solar flares, cosmic rays, and galactic transmissions has been directly activating the DNA of humanity, triggering an awakening process that has never been seen before. Stages of the crystalline ascension timeline. 1. The awakening phase, the call to remembering. This phase is marked by the initial stirrings of soul remembrance, a deep feeling that there is more to existence than what has been perceived. Individuals begin experiencing spontaneous activations, heightened intuition, and shifts in perception. Old belief systems begin to dissolve as the higher intelligence of the DNA starts to communicate with the conscious mind. 2. The purging and recalibration phase. As the body transitions from carbon-based density to crystalline light, old distortions, traumas, and ancestral imprints rise to the surface for clearing. This phase often includes intense physical, emotional, and energetic detoxification as the body adjusts to higher frequencies. The nervous system, pineal gland, and cellular structures undergo massive upgrades, preparing for the full activation of the light body. 3. The integration and quantum expansion phase. The DNA fully activates, allowing for multidimensional awareness, direct quantum access, and the embodiment of higher vibrational states. The Merkaba field becomes fully functional, enabling conscious reality shifting and interdimensional navigation. Time ceases to be experienced in a linear fashion, instead, individuals learn to quantum leap between parallel realities. 4. The divine embodiment phase. At this stage, the divine human fully emerges, existing as an ascended being while still within physical form. The crystalline body is now the dominant energy structure, allowing for full regeneration, heightened perception, and cosmic intelligence to flow through effortlessly. Reality is no longer something to be controlled or reacted to, it is a fluid expression of consciousness in its purest form. The crystalline ascension timeline is not about escaping the body or transcending the earth experience. It is about bringing heaven into the body, anchoring the divine frequency into physical reality, and merging the infinite self with the manifested world. However, this ascension is not an individual event, it is a collective transformation, leading to the emergence of unity consciousness and the new earth. Unity consciousness and the new earth. The final stage of human ascension is not about personal enlightenment alone, it is about the unification of all consciousness, the collective remembrance that separation was always an illusion. Unity consciousness is the realization that every being is a fractal of source, interconnected with all life. The universe does not function through division, but through harmonic resonance. Love is not just an experience, it is the underlying structure of reality itself. New Earth is not a separate realm nor an evolving construct, it is a fully existing vibrational bandwidth, accessible through harmonic attunement. It is not manifested, it is realized through the pure alignment of unity consciousness, already present in the eternal now. In this new Earth reality, humanity moves beyond systems of control, scarcity, and illusion, entering an era of cooperative, conscious co-creation. Advanced forms of light technology, sound healing, and quantum manifestation become the natural way of interacting with reality. Physical bodies operate at a regenerative crystalline frequency, allowing for longer lifespans, self-healing, and telepathic communication. Borders, divisions, and old systems dissolve, replaced by a civilization that operates in alignment with the universal laws of harmony, balance, and creation. This is the next phase of evolution, not a departure from Earth, but a transformation of it. The transition to the new Earth is already underway. Every being who activates their DNA, awakens to their divine nature, and embodies unity consciousness is helping to anchor this timeline into existence. Becoming the divine human, the final activation. The realization is already within you. Awakening is not a process, but a remembering. You were never separate from the divine. You have always been the living expression of Source itself. To become the divine human is not to gain something new, but to remove all that is not you, all distortions, limitations, and false programs that once concealed your true nature. It is to embody the full spectrum of your multidimensional self, the mastery of your crystalline DNA and infinite intelligence, the ability to shift reality at will through vibration and intention, the remembrance that you are both the creator and the created. The age of forgetting is over. The time of full embodiment is here. The question is no longer if you will awaken, but how fully you will step into your divine inheritance. The cosmic doors are open. The earth is ascending. The crystalline body is forming. The new earth is unfolding. Now is the moment to embrace the divine self within you. Now is the moment to step into full embodiment. You have always been the divine human. This is simply your awareness catching up. You are ready. The time is now.